Hey, hello guys, welcome to Learn Eternity, a platform to learn anything, anytime.
In this tutorial, we are going to work with the table in Bootstrap. Okay, so in HTML file, while we're working with the table, we have a tag called a table, and then we have to specify the table body and table head section. Okay, so I have just created one simple document which consists of this Bootstrap CSS link and Bootstrap JavaScript link with the jQuery link. And I have also created a small table with the content of employee, which consists of employee content such as ID, name, designation, and so on. So I have just created this table, so just go ahead and refer this table. I just created this table with the table heading section, and in the table heading section I have specified uh, the column name that I want to include, and in the table body I created the simple record specifying each employee details. Okay, I have specified the border of a 1 to this table in order to give a border to that table. So let me go ahead and run this page. Okay, so as you can see, this is a simple HTML table that we have created. Okay, in Bootstrap, while working with a table, we have a class called as a table. So that can be used in order to modify and work with the table. Okay, so I'm just removing this border and specifying a class for this called as a table and saving the file. Once you save the file, just go ahead to your browser and refresh. So as you can see, it just give its padding, its margin, and overall look with this simple class called as a table. Okay, so if you are working with the table in HTML and you wanted a basic table design, then you can use a Bootstrap table class. The next thing the Bootstrap provide is a strip table that we can use in a Bootstrap. So in order to work with the strip table, what the strip table do is that it gives a different color to nth row, that is alternative row will get a different color. Okay, so once I complete my this task, you will come to know how to work with the strip table. So I just wanted to include a class called table dash stripped. Okay, so go ahead and save this file. Once you save this file and go ahead and refresh, so as you can see, alternative row is getting a different color as per your requirement. Okay, so this is called as a stripped class. The next thing, let me tell you one thing, the strip table is compatible with the current browser, but it is not compatible with the Internet Explorer 8. So if you are running this on Internet Explorer 8, then please go ahead and run this on Chrome or Mozilla browser. Okay, the next thing we are going to learn is border table. Okay, so in order to make a border outside this alongside this table, you have to use a table border class in Bootstrap. Okay, so let me include that class. So I just want to include table dash table dash border dot. Okay, so once you do that, just hit refresh. So as you can see, the table is getting border from alongside and inner side. Okay, so that's why we use a table border property. Okay, so depending on your requirement, you can use a table stripped or table border. Next thing I just wanted to tell you, if you want some effects such as on hovering on the row, the color of the active row should change. Okay, so in that case we have a class called table hover. Okay, so let me use this table dash hover class and save the file and go ahead and refresh. So as you can see, once I hover on each row, it get highlighted. Okay, so if you want such functionality that on hover of this table row it will get highlighted, then you can use a table hover class inside Bootstrap. Okay, the another thing you can notice is that whenever you use a table class inside the Bootstrap, the predefined margin and padding is applied to this row. Suppose you have a large amount of data and you want to shrink down this margin and padding. So in that case, you have a class called as a table condensed, which available in a Bootstrap. So I'm just using the table dash condensed. Okay, so make sure you spell it right. Okay, just save that and go ahead and refresh. So as you can see, it is taking a small amount of margin, spacing and padding. So you can use depending on your requirement. If you have a large amount of data, you want to shrink down the margin and padding a little bit, then you can use the condensed table. The next thing I just wanted to tell you is that um, as per your requirement, you can change the table row color. So if you use a custom CSS file and change this row color, tr color, that is a table row color, to whatever you want, you can change it. But there are some contextual classes available in the Bootstrap that you can use in order to change the table row color. Okay, so some of them are I'm going to tell you. So for the table row, for the first table row, I'm going to change this to class of active. Okay, so the active color will given to the first row. Okay, so let me refresh this. So active color is the same as a cement color, that is a highlighted color. Okay, the for the second row I'm using a class called success. Okay, so once you use a class called success for the table row, it will just change the color to green. Okay, another class, the contextual class that you have is a class info that you can use. Okay, it will give you a color of a blue. Another class that you have is a class called as a warning. Okay, so once you do that, just go ahead and refresh, and the warning give you a yellowish color. Okay, another class that you have, and that is the last class that you have, is a class danger. Okay, so once you do that, just go ahead and save that and refresh. So it will give you a red color. So depending on your requirement, you can change the color of this row with the contextual class, that is predefined color available inside the Bootstrap. Okay, so this is all about the designing of the Bootstrap table. One thing I just wanted to tell you is that table is by default uh, called as a responsive. But I just go ahead and just shrink down this window a little bit. So as you can see, the table is now not responsive. The content is going outside this window. Okay, so in order to make that table responsive, we have a class called the table responsive. So that class we have to involve in one div called as class table dash responsive. Okay, so that's it. You just have to close this div. So I'm just closing this div, and inside that div we have to just cut and paste this entire table. Okay, so I'm just moving that table inside this tube. Okay, so once you do that, just go ahead and refresh over here, and now just go ahead and shrink the table. So as you can see, you are getting this horizontal scroll bar that allows you to scroll inside this web page. That means you are making your table responsive. Okay, so this is the making your table responsive and how to work with the table.
So that's it for this tutorial. Hope you understand everything. If you have any doubts, feel free to comment below. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel to stay tuned. Till then, see ya.